Today is September 10th, and these sisters born today are all practitioners of art and spirit. Miriam Chamani became one of the most important spiritual leaders in Nolens. Originally from Mississippi and former teacher and ordained Christian minister, she was drawn to African spiritual traditions and initiated into Ifa and IACN Vodou. In 1996, she co-founded the Vodou Spiritual Temple in the French Quarter with her husband Aswan Chamani, creating a sacred space, blending ritual, art, and community service, leading ceremonies, readings, and cultural education so that people from around the world can learn and honor African diasporic practices. And how about this? It's also the day most honor the birth of Queen Marie Catherine Laveau. She was born free in Nolens in 1801 and became the most celebrated Vodou Queen in American history. She's still so important because she's a connector of most of modern world history. She's a Creole woman of African, Indigenous, and French descent. She worked as a hairdresser and nurse. She cared for the sick during yellow fever epidemics while building spiritual authority in the city. She was the trusted sister whose influence reached from the streets to the courthouse. More than a century after her death, her tomb, if that really is her tomb, still draws offerings. Another magical sister born today is Misty Copeland. In 2015, she became the first Black woman principal dancer at American Ballet Theater in its 75-year history. She performed leading roles in Swan Lake, Firebird, and Romeo and Juliet, and even danced with Prince on his Welcome to America tour. Misty has received an Image Award and Spingarn Medal from the NAACP and been named one of Time Magazine's 100 Most Influential People. She also founded the Misty Copeland Foundation, expanding access to dance for kids who rarely see themselves on stage. Ancestor Barbara Morrison will always be one of the most beloved jazz and blues vocalists in history. She started performing at 10 years old, singing on a radio show, and by her teens, she was on the road with legends. Over her career, she shared the stage with icons like Dizzy Gillespie, Ray Charles, Etta James, and Nancy Wilson. She recorded over 20 albums, starred in productions like Ain't Misbehavin', and was nominated for 3 Grammy Awards. She founded the Barbara Morrison Performing Arts Center and the California Jazz and Blues Museum in Leimert Park in L.A. Ancestor Georgia Douglas Johnson was born in Atlanta in 1880, and even though she lived in D.C., she was one of the most important sisters of the Harlem Renaissance. She was a poet, playwright, teacher, and activist who published 4 volumes of poetry, most notably The Heart of a Woman in 1918. She hosted the famous Saturday Nighters Salon, a gathering place for writers, artists, and thinkers like Langston Hughes, Elaine Locke, and my everything, Zora Neale Hurston. Ancestor Georgia used her wealth, wisdom, and influence to connect the next generation of artistic freedom fighters. I'll see you tomorrow.